Hey guys, my name is Max, and today on the Halo Chronicles I'm going to be talking about customization in Halo 5 and what different methods of customization I'd like to see in Halo 6. So first I would like to talk about something that's a bit more of a unique one, which would possibly be customization to your kill feed fonts and styles. So there was a montage put out recently by Bullet Rebel where he had his own custom kill feed where he'd use different font in a different style so that you can actually style it however you want, and this font might go for the main menu as well and any area, so it isn't one specific font that everyone has to use, because some of them can sometimes be seen as quite distracting, and maybe someone isn't just a fan of it and they want to personalize their method even more, maybe even by changing the color of it, because some people are colorblind to certain colors, so maybe a red would stand out better, and some people just like maybe having a whiter color so it just pops a little bit more, so you can see the information a little bit clearer, and that can be changed for maybe game intros as well. Next, and this is probably one of my most anticipated, and if it did happen I would love it the most, this would be the custom HUDs. So in Halo 5 there's no real way of customizing your HUD. They do change between the campaign and in multiplayer, however I would like to see a customizable HUD menu. There would possibly be maybe, 6 or 7 that you could choose from as bases, and then as unlockable items you could improve or make variations to your HUD, so you could unlock green, red, black HUDs, and this could be done through a similar unlock system to Halo Reach's, because I do believe Halo Reach's credit system was one of the best for cosmetics. I would like to see people be able to change their shape of their HUD, so maybe have their shield bar be a bit more curved, maybe have their health bar at the bottom pop out, or maybe even be a little bit less clear so that the shields are more in focus. Maybe slight change of position of the radar, maybe someone would prefer it being in the direct center so it's just below. This would maybe not be something that would be included in ranked matches, but I believe in social arenas and in Warzone this could be quite useful, and providing it doesn't affect gameplay directly, I believe it would be a nicer feature to have, and so players could swap where you could put all these information on the screen. So maybe you wanted your grenade count to be bottom left and your radar to be top right, just because maybe you're used to it from other games and want to keep the consistency up, but Halo's never really had anything like that. So if there was maybe a really detailed mode where you could move things around yourself and you could visually see what it would look like as you're doing it, then it would be a really incredible feature to have personally. Next is the main menu. I would like to have possible different scenes that you could have in the background of the main menu. As in Halo 5's at the minute, the main background is kind of dull, there's not a huge amount going on, and the ship involved isn't even really featured in Halo 5 at all. But if there was possibly 6 or 7 you were able to choose from, maybe different ways you could position things on the screen to really personalize your experience, so certain features you use more of stand out more, such as having maybe Forge be one of your top bars if you play a lot of Forge, or maybe your ranked playlists being straight at the first click of the button if you play that most, and that could then tie in with the kill feed font and style I was talking about earlier, where you could fully customize it to make things pop that you would rather have. Next one, and this is one that is a bit more of a quick cover topic, would be having left and right-handed Spartans in the same way we have different gendered Spartans. I know some weapons do take up a lot of room, such as the rocket launcher. If you're using it in your right hand, then it obscures quite a bit of the view to your right. But I believe if you had the choice of making it left or right, then I believe there would be certain maps that would potentially benefit maybe more from that. Maybe if you're on the red or blue team, it could influence your decision, or whether you might naturally prefer a Spartan to be holding their weapon in their left hand. And it would just be a nice option to have. It would open up a different way of exploring what would be in your view, what wouldn't be in your view, and could possibly open up into little bits of skill manipulation, different changes in what people would use, and tactics. I think that adding the Voices of War rec pack was a good idea. I personally didn't want it to see being a £10 unlockable item only. I would have liked to have it unlockable for everybody, and I think there should be so much more of them in the future. However, I think you should be able to pick and choose what game modes you have them in, such as in Ranked Slayer. I'd probably prefer the normal announcer, but I might prefer a more fun and creative one in Warzone when I'm just casually playing on my own. And you should be able to pick and choose exactly which ones you have for which game modes, so you're not stuck with the same one over again. And if you want to change between each one currently, then you would have to go into the settings and manually always change them if you're going between game modes. But I would prefer seeing that option just being there. I think playable elites is something that should return in an invasion or casual game type, something that could possibly be even put into Warzone. Their height and hitboxes would obviously have to stay the same, and so would their movement, but it would just be the aesthetic differences. Maybe they would get completely different HUDs. And the only thing that I think would really change is the thrusting mechanics. So I think elites should get more of an evade instead of a full-on pushed thrust. Then the soldiers would obviously get their little strange teleporter thing, and that would obviously have to be balanced, so maybe their distance of the teleportation is a little bit shorter than the standard thrust, so that they're not just surviving encounters that they shouldn't be. This is something that should definitely not be in ranked playlists, as it would affect play quite significantly, even if the hitboxes are the same. Just having elites with different sized heads and soldiers who have really tiny heads, it would affect how people are shooting, and it could potentially throw battles. And with the soldiers being completely invulnerable when they're in their thrusting mechanic, then it would definitely affect play. I'd like to see it so maybe they were able to not necessarily be shot when they are using it, but they can't use the thrust very often. So once they've used it, the cooldown time is incredibly long. So maybe it has these extreme benefits, but they're not as easy to use. And if there was a sort of invasion mode that was brought back, I think that'd be really, really interesting to see. You'd be able to run around with the point of view of a soldier using light rifle suppressors and splinters as you're starting. Let me know what you think of these ideas in the comments below, and whether you could share them around so that in the future Halo games, some of them could possibly even make it in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.